Hey, welcome to the Relentless Positivity Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Martin, and I got one today that's it's about the story the one time about I thought this lady was going to shoot me. We'll start there, and then kind of crazy, but I'm gonna segue that into some tips so you can get your mindset for fitness success. So let's take it back. So a few years ago, I saw this lady walk in my neighborhood. She was super undressed, wearing like a t-shirt in 20-degree weather, and she looked very confused. So I drove my truck over there and said, "Hey, would you like to ride?" And she hopped in, and she was an interesting character. She told me many tales of adventure and intrigue. She told me I played goalie for a Canadian ice hockey team, and while I was there, I trained the FBI in scuba diving. And many other, I think the New York Rangers were up there. The Mountain Police got a shout out. There's a lot going on, and she was in the middle of all that. But she taught me a lesson, and she taught me in a way that I never forgot. She when she got in, and we were just talking, and then she looked me right in the eyes, and she said, "Do you think I have a weapon on me?" And then I paused about like that. So I'm kind of taking it through. So that's what happened. So she said that. And then I had heard some metal clanking around in her bags that she was carrying with her when she got in the truck. So I really wasn't sure. But I told her, "No, I don't think you had any weapons." And she said, "You're wrong. I do have one." I'm going to pause for as long as we sat there. Okay. Here's how uncomfortable it was. It felt like an hour, something like that. It was probably 10 seconds of silence right there. She just stared at me without blinking. It seemed forever. It's probably 10 seconds. But then she pointed with both fingers at her head and she said, "You're wrong. I do. My mind. My mind is my most important weapon." You ever had one of those deals where your entire body relaxes, even though you didn't know you were tensed up? That's what I did. My shoulders right up in my ears. I was like sore a little bit. I was like, man, I have been just crunched up, so stressed out waiting on this lady's answer. Yeah, that actually happened, by the way. So this whole uncomfortable exchange thankfully ended on a good note. She thanked me for the ride and peacefully went into her home. But she was right. The mind is a super powerful weapon. You can use it to achieve any fitness goal you want. That's why so many of my podcasts are about mindset and the mental part of things. Because until your mind is right, you're not going to make a change no matter how much info you have. People talk about this is the greatest workout in the world. But guess what? If you don't do it, it doesn't matter. So if you have all this information that you're not using, it doesn't matter. So we got to work on that mindset. The mind's the most important muscle you need to keep in shape for weight loss, endurance training, strength training, all those. It all starts in the mind. So I want to give you 6 tips to help you develop that fitness mindset, that mindset for fitness success. The first one, start by focusing on what you can control, like your attitude and daily actions. When I coach football, I told my guys, we're going to focus on attitude and effort. That's the same thing here. Those are what you have complete control over. Instead of worrying about your genetics, the weather, and all these things with work that you have no control over, attitude and effort. That's where we're going to stay. So number 2, break your big goals into smaller, achievable steps and celebrate every win along the way. When you have a big goal, like I need to lose 50 pounds, that can be overwhelming. So you break it up into smaller. Maybe I can lose 1 pound this week, 12 ounces, 8 ounces, 6 ounces. If you're headed in the right direction, break it down. Keep heading towards a big goal, but break it down to those smaller, achievable goals. Number 3, visualize yourself succeeding. I know it sounds kind of woo-woo and all that, but you got to do that. It helps so much. Whether it's completing a workout, eating a healthy meal, or feeling more confident, picture those. Picture yourself succeeding at those and remind yourself that progress matters more than perfection. Number 4, replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations and treat yourself with kindness when things get tough. This one's not very, women are better at this one. Let's just admit that. The guys, I don't need kindness. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. If it's not working, man, you got to try something different. Things get tough. Give yourself a little grace and get back in the race. If it rhymes, it's good. So, number 5, build consistency, easy for me to say, by committing to small daily habits, even when your motivation fades. Stay in the habit. If you don't feel like working out, you don't have to work out for an hour, 30 minutes. Can you do 5? Can you do 4? Can you do 1 minute today? Stay in the habit. These small daily habits, drinking water, taking your vitamins, getting a little bit extra sleep, turning your phone off earlier. Small little habits done consistently add up over time. Keep at them. And number 6, surround yourself with supportive people. Man, that's one that's so important. A workout partner, a group, a trainer, your spouse, somebody that needs to support you, and you need to support them right back if they're on the same path. And take time to appreciate the non-scale victories that show how far you've come. So many people put all their eggs in that one basket of the scale, and she's a fickle mistress, my friend. Look at, do you have more energy? Are you feeling better overall? Do your joints hurt less? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel fitter? Are you more confident? Are your pants looser? There's all these things that are outside of the scale. Hey, I got off this medication. Man, I love getting that text. People send me that one. Look at things outside of the scale. It's going to be so much more motivating rather than just focusing on that one little piece of the puzzle. Look at the whole thing, the whole picture. You got to look at it. And there's a lot of stuff you do not have control over. But every day you get to decide what kind of attitude you have and what kind of effort. So if nothing else, if you didn't pay attention to any of those steps, look at those right there, attitude and effort. Decide what you want, develop that plan to get there, and then constantly build up your belief that you can do it. Hey, man, I believe in you. You should believe in yourself. Use those 6 steps, maybe not all at once. If you need to start with one, attitude and effort, and build from there, whatever it is, keep at it, keep consistent, and you'll get there. And I'm always here to help if you need it. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.